Welcome to the Daily Exchange. Guys, we're talking everything about new Facebook's Libra coin. I'm here with Andrew Munro. He's the editor of Funder's cryptocurrency section, Crypto Funder. Welcome.
Great to be here.
Love your format. All right, guys, we're talking everything about Libra and Facebook's coin right after this.
Remember when these were fast? And these? Technology has improved the world around us. So why is it simple to send one of these anywhere in an instant, but not money?
Bartering to shell, to gold, to money.
What if we made money truly global, stable, and secure? What if everyone was invited to the global economy with access to the same financial opportunities? Introducing Libra, a new global currency designed for the digital world, backed by the belief that money should be fast for Ope in Lagos, simple for Saul's family business in Manila, and secure for Betsabe when sending money home to Mexico City. It's powered by blockchain, making it safe and accessible, no matter who you are or where you're from. So join us as we move towards a world where money works for everyone. This is Libra, and it's just the beginning.
Guys, welcome back. That is the intro, the hype video of Libra coin, Facebook's new coin. And we're talking all about it today from end to end, guys. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about what this means for Bitcoin, what this means for other cryptocurrencies, how the whole thing works. Let's get straight into it. Andrew, what is Libra? Let's start with that. What is Libra coin?
Oh, it's a big question. But Libra coin is yet another stable coin. The reason everyone's so excited about this one is that it's a stable coin which was conceived by Facebook. They put a lot of care and attention and loving detail into the creation of this. And it has been slowly leaked over a year now, and super hyped. And this could be the one. Facebook has more users than all of cryptocurrency. It's brought a huge roster of partners on board to help back and grow this stable coin. It's built its own blockchain. It's taken it seriously.
Wow, this is a big deal. Okay, so there's a stable coin. Just to quickly explain, what is a stable coin?
So a stable coin is a coin that doesn't fluctuate in value. Okay. In this case,
it's like Bitcoin's moving all around the place.
Yeah. This
one just stays there. How does it stay there? What's it backed by?
So this coin is backed by a bunch of money in a bank and a bunch of government bonds. So it's backed by a whole basket of different international currencies. So far we think it's the USD, the Great British Pound, Euro, maybe Swiss francs or yen.
Okay.
All balanced out, so it'll move against the value of any individual currency. Okay. But by itself, it'll remain stable.
Okay. Now, in terms of, that's what that is. So Libra is a stable coin. It's going to keep the same price. It's going to stay there. Now, what's the deal? Is Libra Facebook coin?
No, not at all. It was conceived by Facebook.
Okay.
It was Facebook's idea, near as we can tell. But Facebook itself has stepped back from it. It has created a foundation, the Libra Foundation, to manage the governance of this coin, to be the nodes on the Libra blockchain. What Facebook has done is they've built a wallet for this coin. So that's their involvement so far.
Okay. Now, Mark Zuckerberg has quoted in saying, being able to use mobile money can have an important positive impact on people's lives because you don't have to always carry cash, which can be insecure, or pay extra fees for transfers. This is especially important for people who don't have access to traditional banks or financial services. Right now, there are around 1 billion people who don't have a bank account but do have a mobile phone. We aspire to make it easy for everyone to send and receive money, just like you use our apps to instantly share messages and photos. To enable this, Facebook is also launching an independent subsidiary called Calibra that will build services that let you send, spend, and save Libra, starting with a digital wallet that will be available in WhatsApp and Messenger and as a standalone app next year. Okay, so Libra, the Libra Foundation, is separate to Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, now you talked about this. Who is behind Libra? Who is behind this Libra Foundation in terms of making it secure and things like that?
So what we got so far is a group of 27 big multinational companies, some from the blockchain and crypto space, but most from your everyday life. We're talking names like Uber, Lyft.
I think we've got a graph for this as well. Joel, can you bring that up? The block infographic. This graph's brought to you by the block guys. Check this out. Keep going. Tell us who else is involved with this.
You'll see
Andrew,
the
as it
names
comes up.
in a second. But these are all just big household names for the most part. We all notice here we got a very sort of multi-industry section of names here.
Okay.
We also notice is that between them you have billions of users. Something like I think 2.2 billion users between all these companies it comes out as.
Really interesting ones as well. You've got some blockchain ones. You've got some investment companies there. You know, MasterCard, Visa, Stripe, PayPal, PayU. Ride sharing. You've got Kiva, for small business banking. This is a Booking Holdings. Isn't that Booking.com? I assume it is. eBay even. I don't think this is the who's who of
multinational
internet companies.
consumer-facing companies,
Right.
internet companies.
Okay, so these guys are backing it. These are the guys that are securing it with the Libra Foundation, and Facebook is one of those companies.
I believe so.
Okay.
But what these companies are doing essentially, so they do two things, right? One is they paid a bunch of money, which we assume is going into the backing for the Libra stablecoin itself. What they're also doing is running validator nodes. So they're basically monitoring the blockchain, being the nodes, reaching consensus on the new Libra blockchain.
Okay. What kind of, so let's go back. So then it's on a blockchain. Tell us about what did, Libra build this, what is this blockchain?
So this blockchain is something entirely new. What Libra has done here is they've modified something called the hot stuff BFT protocol, made a few tweaks here and there, and by all accounts they've got something that can achieve high speeds while remaining secure, which is kind of like the blockchain dream. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's technically pretty great looking.
But it's their own blockchain. You said, I think they've made their own code base, like their own coding language?
Yeah. So
it's
they
like
also created their own programming language.
Right.
Something that blockchain and smart contracts are in dire need of.
Okay.
And you see a lot of these spring around, right? Ethereum created its own programming language with Solidity.
Yep.
By all accounts, it is a nightmare to use and prone to, a lot of pretty disastrous mistakes. So since then, there has been a drive to create a much safer programming language, and a number have emerged. Now, Libra, Facebook, is another one throwing their own programming language into the ring.
Okay. Now, guys, do send your questions through as we're going along. We are live here, so do send us your questions. Joel will bring them up as we go along. And we're obviously, you're covering this, Andrew, on the site as well, so there's articles to read about this as we're going to keep getting into this. But is there sort of a guide that everyone should check out? Is it currently on the site?
No.
Not right now.
No all-in-one guide, but there's definitely a lot out there.
There is a lot. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, now talk to us about, so it's not controlled by Facebook, it's controlled by the Libra Foundation, but can these 27 companies, what can they do with the blockchain?
What they can do is they can vote on it democratically with a 2/3 majority. They can make governance decisions. They could theoretically decide to put Libra in and out of circulation. With 2/3 majority or another majority, they could reverse transactions theoretically. It's a blockchain.
Okay.
Right?
So, and they've put $10 million up to be one of these nodes each.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of money. And now they're going to sort of, oversee the coin or the blockchain. Sorry, and then in 2020 when it launches, there's going to be 100 members of the Libra network. So who are they?
Oh, I don't think anyone knows yet, but that's the plan. You start off with these 27 members, and then you bring in more. So by the time you do have the proper launch, you have enough to really manage a decentralized network.
Okay. Now, will people be able to build on this blockchain? Is this open source?
Yes, it's open source. As far as Libra says, anyone can build on it. The actual kinds of apps developers can build remains to be seen. If you try to build something that regulators don't look too kindly on, that might be quashed. So time will tell how exactly open source it is and how this all shakes out. But for now, yeah, anyone can build on it, open source, go for your life, right?
Okay, so it's much like other blockchains that have been out there, but the actual underlying piece is stable. There's a stable coin that supports the whole thing.
Yes,
Okay.
that's one of the coins.
Okay.
Stable coin.
Now, what can you use Libra for?
Right now, I guess, impressing people by telling them you have Libra before it's even released.
Okay.
Whatever you want when it comes out, though.
Right.
Some people are saying, you can use it as gas on the network.
Okay.
And that it will be the native cryptocurrency of the Libra blockchain.
Okay.
The same way Ether is for Ethereum and so on.
Okay.
Mostly remittances, payments. That seems to be
Okay.
what it's being geared towards.
Right. Now we saw that video there with a lot of it being about banking the unbanked, and Libra and Facebook are talking a lot about this. Do you think this spells trouble for some other blockchains that are out there trying to do that, or other projects?
Yeah, I think everyone has reason to be nervous when a giant comes stomping into the playground like this. And I don't think it's a zero-sum game. I think there's many ways to bank the unbanked. You've already seen many different stable coins working together. We have seen, for example, crypto lending apps that use a range of different third-party stable coins. So there's no reason why they couldn't add Libra as just another stable coin on their app.
Right.
And then let consumers choose whichever digital financial service they want to use. That said, yeah, if this goes well, Libra coin is going to put some people out of business.
Okay. So let's go now. We're talking about the top 10 most important things you need to know about Libra. We're counting down from 10. There's a 27-page white paper. We just thought potentially we're going to go through the top 10 things, and we'll start with number 10. The first one is Facebook is marketing it as a cryptocurrency that uses blockchain. That's pretty important. So
Yeah.
that's a big deal, right? That Facebook is marketing a cryptocurrency has a huge implication on the market. What do you think the impact will be on the cryptocurrency market of this new Libra coin?
Well, it feels like it's got to be good, right? Because, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, it's got such a tarnish from its reputation as a drug money, from its reputation for, bubbles and volatility and regulatory hassles and destroying the environment and so on. So with Facebook coming along and all these other founding members of the Libra network, just giving it one big hearty stamp of approval, and not shying away from the fact that, yes, it is a cryptocurrency and it does use blockchain, it's got to be great news for the space.
Okay. So Facebook, cryptocurrency, and it's on a blockchain. It's a brand new blockchain. It's a brand new code language. It's open source. People can build onto it. Number 9, Facebook does not control it. The non-profit Libra Association does. That's important. So Facebook doesn't control it. Who controls it?
The Libra Association.
Okay. And
Which
the
is-
27 members, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how much control each of them has, whether you do get little bits of politicking or infighting
Yep.
or backroom deals in this foundation, time will tell.
Okay. And we've got a tweet here from Cermak. I'm not sure if, Joel, you've got that tweet handy, but while we're getting that, the Cermak tweet, here it is. Number 5, Libra is governed by a non-profit Libra Association based in Geneva, which will eventually have 100 geographically diverse founding members. No member can represent more than 1% of the vote, even Facebook. Okay. I think we're up to number 8, if I'm not mistaken. The Libra will be backed by a mix of low-risk fiat currencies and government bonds called the Libra Reserve. Now, all this is sort of money that's coming into this Libra Reserve. What's this going to be used for?
It's going to be used to issue new Libra, not entirely unlike the money in Tether's bank is used to issue new Tethers.
Okay. So basically, you put in a dollar into of whatever fiat currency you want, euros, US dollars, pounds, yen, whatever it may be, and you get one Libra dollar back, and then that money sits in a bank account in the Libra Foundation.
Yeah, in so many words. And then that money sitting in the bank account owns a little bit of interest for the foundation itself to pay expenses and pay some dividends to the investors.
Okay, so number 7, technicals. So it uses a consensus mechanism called hot stuff. It will eventually be proof of stake and permissionless. So it's going to eventually be proof of stake and permissionless.
A lot of people say that.
Okay.
Ethereum said that eventually be proof of stake and permissionless.
Okay.
And the takeaway here, right, is that Libra has a long road ahead of it. They're jumping right into the middle of the technical stream, and now they've got some work to do.
Okay. So there's a new programming language called Move that's going to be used for it with the Libra blockchain. So the Libra blockchain, the language is called Move, starting off as a permission chain, i.e. only the founding members can validate transactions, and then nodes which are operated by companies will stake their security tokens to secure the network, presumably this will be part of what the $10 million fee goes towards. So eventually it will be permissionless, so other people can stake and potentially validate transactions, if that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 6, users can be pseudonymous, that's a tough one, enabling a degree of privacy. So people, obviously, the actual transactions on the blockchain will be unnamed. So there is the Libra blockchain, it'll be unnamed, a bit like Bitcoin, I guess.
Yeah.
But probably not anonymous to wallet operators or payment providers like Calibra. So Calibra is the Facebook wallet, and I'm assuming there'll be more wallets as well. Those won't be anonymous. You'll have to do KYC and AML, I assume, for those.
Well, yes and no. I think legally Calibra is not a Facebook wallet, it's a subsidiary of Facebook, an independent subsidiary.
Okay, so it's not Facebook's wallet.
And part of that might be due to AML, KYC concerns. So we do know that for the Calibra wallet, you will have to have some government-issued identification to actually sign up for the Calibra wallet. What we don't know is whether all the other people who do build their own Libra wallets, whether they will be required to collect the same identification.
Okay.
That's kind of currently up in the air in the crypto space as a whole.
Okay. So Facebook's native wallet Calibra will require ID. This is the 5th point, counting down here. It will require ID. We've got a little video here. I'm not sure, Joel, if you've got this in terms of the Calibra website. I'm not sure if you've got this, calibra.com. It's vid 3, apparently. Yeah, so this is how it's going to work. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Very slick.
It does feel slick, doesn't it? And also, I guess it's really a wallet, like in and of itself. It's fairly similar to what, like, MyEther wallet or, those kind of wallets. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, it is, I think, exactly the same kind of thing. The key difference here, right, you can integrate it with WhatsApp, Messenger, or it's just a standalone app.
Okay. Here's a key question, but with this, where are the private keys stored?
Well, that's another big difference, right?
Yeah.
So Calibra itself, as an institution, will be storing your private keys for you. Because let's face it, being your own bank kind of blows.
Yep.
You lose your private keys. You remember this big long password. You have paper wallets, brain wallets, and all this. Now, Calibra has 24/7 customer support. It is a managed wallet. It manages your keys for you.
Okay. Now let's bring up. There's a quote here from Facebook's VP of Blockchain, David Marcus. It says, in case you are hacked, scammed, or lose access to your account, Calibra will refund you for lost coins when possible through 24/7 live chat because it is a custodial wallet. So they've got your keys. They also won't have to remember any long, complex crypto passwords you could forget and get locked out from your money as Calibra manages all your keys for you. given, I guess the custody, means they hold your funds. Given Calibra will likely become the default wallet for many Libra users, this extra protection and smoother user experience is essential. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
24/7 chat. Okay, number 4, only authorized resellers will be able to issue and trade the currency. So how will this work? How do you think this will work? So Coinbase is a partner, right? So they must be somehow involved. And there's potential now. Do you think Libra will be paired against Bitcoin, for example? Will you be able to buy Bitcoin with Libra?
I would say 100% yes. We do know some exchanges have already come out and said, yeah, we'll be listing Libra when we can. And as it's a fully open source blockchain project, there's not a lot anyone can do to stop them from doing that. Yeah, it's a new stable coin in the crypto sphere. Welcome Libra, I guess. You're going to see a pair against Bitcoin and a whole lot more.
The first Bitcoin Libra pairing, that'll be a big deal. It's a big deal. Maybe it'll take market share as well. Okay, so Libra might act as the gateway for many deposits, but I guess if you're buying through the wallet, the Calibra wallet, I think they're using some sort of debit card or a credit card or some means like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so the way it's set up, according to the existing documentation, is you have these authorized resellers, and then you have the actual crypto exchanges. The kind of separate layers. The exchanges themselves are the ones who can take money in and out of the Libra reserve and handle the large fiat for Libra payments and exchanges. The authorized resellers are kind of the consumer-facing ones by the sounds of it. So who these authorized resellers end up being and how many there are, time will tell.
Okay. Number 3, there will be a security token offering for established businesses. In other words, there are businesses that can get involved to become part of this and I guess take a piece of the action for this massive coin that's coming out. That's a big deal, right? A security token as well as a stable coin, as well as all these organizations involved. Is this the biggest day you've seen in cryptocurrency, Andrew?
I don't know. When Bitcoin hit 20K, that was pretty big.
That's pretty big. This is pretty big as well. When I'm assuming, but there's the security token as well coming out behind it to back this up and everyone to take a piece. We've got a tweet here from Castillo. Joel, if you want to bring that up, that'd be. We've got Facebook's Libra. Cryptocurrency is actually 2 different tokens. Read about how companies valued at $1 billion or more can buy in to help the social network giant raise $100 million via a security token offering formerly known as an ICO. There it is. So you can get involved.
If you want to buy into the ICO.
It's not really an ICO. It's more of a STO, right? A security token offering. I don't think that's an ICO.
No, it is. You've got to be an accredited investor in this case, or a large business.
Yeah, and there's also, you're buying into a stable coin that will have transactions, and it's immediately going to be adopted probably by, how many users do you reckon Facebook and WhatsApp and Messenger has now?
Billions.
Yeah.
And how many users do all the partners have?
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of Libra being pushed on to the general public as incentives, as an onboarding mechanism.
Number 2, or this is the second last one. I think we're actually counting in. I've been going backwards and it's going to be going forwards. We've got number 9 here. It will have fees. So there will be fees. Tell us about the fees. How will this work? There will be fees to send money? How will that work, do you think? It's all speculation right now, right?
Pretty the normal way, I guess. If you want to send money, it'll tell you how much it costs. And you'll say something like, gosh, what great value, and then you'll send the money. I mean, the fees, I assume, are primarily there as kind of a civil attack mechanism.
So to prevent spam.
Prevent spam attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Prevent spam attacks.
All right, the number 10 is the last thing you need to know about, well, not the last thing, I'm sure there's more to come, but about Libra and this new Facebook cryptocurrency. It has the chance to change cryptocurrency forever. I think this is a big deal, and it is an important moment in time that everyone, you are witnessing right now. This is the moment. This to me is the Hotmail of the internet. The time when Netscape came out and it was just so much easier to browse the internet. I think that's what we are doing right now. Libra is, to me, is when Hotmail came out and email became easier.
Yeah.
What do you think it is? What do you think we are? Where are we, Andrew? What do you think this means for cryptocurrency?
I think one of the things it means is that crypto now has a 500-pound gorilla in its corner of the court. The entire industry as a whole is still moving really quickly, and I don't think Libra has all the answers quite yet, but I think now it's going to have to join people in searching for them. I think it's a huge dose of just industry buy-in from all kinds of diverse industries all around the world.
Okay. We've got research here from Binance saying within the next 18 months, Libra will be incorporated into Facebook ecosystem built around Messenger, WhatsApp, and Facebook.com using the Calibra wallet interface. It is likely to foster rapid expansion of its existing 2.4 billion user base to adopt and transact with the crypto asset across the globe. Now, this is kind of big. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. All right, let's get it. It's kind of a big deal. Guys, do send your questions in. We are answering questions. Any questions you have, send them on in and we can talk about them. And obviously do subscribe, guys, and do join us. We're always coming out with the latest stuff here on Crypto Finder. Now, let's move on. Let's talk about what the experts are saying about this Facebook's cryptocurrency, Libra. Now, we're going to talk about the for, against, and the neutral. So we'll go through each one. Yeah. People who are for. Now, we're talking about Anthony Pompliano. If you haven't seen his video, he was on Crypto Finder just earlier this year. Do check it out. We'll put the link in the description for you guys. We've got a tweet here from Pomp. He is for all of this. It says, for the most important part of Facebook's announcement is that every user of a Facebook property will get a digital wallet eventually. Almost 1/3 of the world will be onboarded to cryptocurrencies. This is incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. Hot take, Calibra is more important than Libra. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that's not bad. Good for him. Not bad. Yeah, and we've got another video here from CNBC with Jim Cramer. Joel, if you want to spin the clip for everyone.
I described this yesterday as being brilliant because I think that this is a way to be able to show Congress, government, we're really trusted. We're doing this nonprofit.
Okay, pretty bullish there from CNBC. Galaxy Digital's Mike Novogratz is bullish on Libra, and he is reported by Bloomberg Novogratz saying Libra is a game changer in that it credentials crypto. We now have many of the largest companies in the world participating. It is now a matter of time before crypto and blockchain are part of both the consumer and financial infrastructure in the world. This is extremely bullish for Bitcoin and the whole ecosystem. Now, then we've got the against, people who are against this, which is kind of a big deal. Crypto Twitter being overrun by everyone, obviously, right now, which is pretty wild. Crypto Twitter is pretty intense in the first place.
Oh, you gotta love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. You've got the Libra white paper there. We've got one of the personalities, Jamison Lopp, within a few hours of Libra white paper being released. He already begun penning an essay on the topic. So he essentially praises Libra for its technical design, but he says it's not a blockchain due to the way the ledger is managed by the governing powers, and have major concerns about censorship, and finish his essay with, I'm skeptical that developers will be able to run any technically valid app they can dream of on this platform. Nothing I've read leads me to believe that this system will be resistant to censorship, but only time will tell. What do you think about that? Do you think people will be able to build on the blockchain?
I think you can now, but I think it's an issue which extends far beyond Libra. It is the existential struggle, as it were, that blockchain is currently going through as it matures. We've already seen people such as the founder of Ether Delta being prosecuted for the smart contracts he wrote, which facilitated, allegedly, illegal trading. I don't think you can build whatever you want, even on decentralized blockchains right now.
Okay. Now, Jimmy Song, who's also been on the show, we caught up with Jimmy in New York. Check that out. Jimmy talked about all sorts of things. He's a long-time Bitcoin supporter. He put out a tweet, and if we're going to bring this up, he says it's regulated, it's centralized, it's closed, it's permissioned. Who designed this? ? A central bank. Okay, right. So it seems he's criticizing really, the central, I guess, that it's centralized.
Yeah.
Do you think that this Libra is centralized?
No, I don't think it's as centralized as a central bank, for example. We do have the clear number of different entities also involved here. And, it's an effort to be decentralized, I think. The 100 founding members, 100 nodes. Whether that all shakes out, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Okay, now Andreas Antonopoulos put this tweet out. We've got, bit of a tweet here. Oh, is this a question we've got here? We've also got, so I'm going to ask you a question. We've got a question coming in here. Will this prime people to get into Bitcoin long term?
Well, that's the $1 trillion question, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, the value proposition of Bitcoin, you think of it as a digital gold. You think of Libra purely for payments. If you accept that sort of thesis, then yeah, you can absolutely see how Libra does highlight the importance and value of digital assets as a whole new emerging asset class going forwards. And Bitcoin as a digital gold of digital assets is sitting pretty. I think it's proper prime to do very well, I think.
Because gold price is not fixed. But that's the problem with Bitcoin, that's had a lot of criticism, that the price moves up so fast that it's hard to, make a payment because you're not sure what price it should be. And so, merchants have had trouble doing that. But it definitely has a very decentralized aspect to it. And, it can't be necessarily controlled as such because it's, completely out there. Which is kind of interesting. But this is really taking that place of payments, day-to-day payments.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference between what Bitcoin is sort of saying and versus this Libra, which is really about day-to-day payments. We've got the Financial Times publication Alphaville decided to pop its head out and buck the trend of neutrality, and they rallied against Libra.
Forcefully.
Yeah, so they've said nonsensical, pointless, stupid, risky, badly thought out, and blockchain-less. Wow, that's intense.
Yeah, vomiting words.
Okay, we've got a question here as well. XRP is potentially competing in the FX markets with its recent $50 million partnership with MoneyGram. Now, tell us about that. Do you think XRP, which is obviously trying to be banking the unbanked, do you think that is... I know that's a big piece of news, right? That's just come out today as well. They've purchased, I think it's 10% of XRP, of MoneyGram.
Yeah.
So they haven't bought the whole thing. But would you say that is XRP in trouble?
I think by some numbers, XRP has been in trouble for quite a while. It's caught in no man's land as it tries to court both the banks on one side, who aren't terribly interested in disrupting their own business model prematurely. And on the other side, you do have this sort of wash of peer-to-peer payments, such as you do get with Libra. I think Libra is bad news for XRP. I think banks will see the role change in the future as they move away from payments and more towards places to securely hold money and earn interest, probably on a more institutional level. So as the payments moves out of the banking sector, it kind of leaves XRP with not a huge amount to do.
Okay, let's go back. Thanks for the questions, guys. Do keep sending those questions in. We've got Andreas's tweet here. We'll come back to that. It says, while Facebook's Libra doesn't compete against any open, public, permissionless, borderless, neutral, censorship-resistant blockchains, it will compete against both retail banks and central banks. This is going to be fun to watch. Now, is this proverbially putting the cat amongst the pigeons here, Andrew? Are they trying to? Is Mr. Antonopoulos trying to instigate, I guess, Libra to take on the central banks?
I don't think he needs to instigate it, right? They're already there. Hey?
Okay. Because there have been some central banks now, 7 of them, I think, come together now, and they're very concerned about where this is going and what this is doing. We've got the G20 meeting in Japan coming up as well. That's later on this month. Do you think this is going to be a hot topic of the G20?
Yeah, I think so. Blockchain crypto's been talking a very big game for a lot of years now, but suddenly, boom, smack in your face, the real specter of possibly a valid global currency. I think the fears are going to be largely allayed by the fact that it is still pegged to fiat currencies, unlike Bitcoin. But there's definitely a lot of regulatory kinks to be ironed out in the coming months and years.
Okay, big regulation. We'll definitely have a look at this. Now, we've got some neutral views. We've got the Binance founder, CZ. Joel, if you want to bring up the tweet, it says, Facebook Libra coin don't need KYC. They have so much more data on the 2 billion people, not just name, ID, address, phone number. They know your family, friends, real-time historic location, what you like. They know you more than yourself, and now your wallet too. Best anti-money laundering. Okay, so I guess, he was questioned obviously about this as well. If he's positive and negative, he said, yep, could take it both ways. We'll leave it for personal judgment. How do you think Binance would react to this? What do you think it'll mean for Binance?
I think Binance has made a very concerted effort to work with regulators in the countries where it does want the fiat on-ramps. And I think if you look at the positive side of let's call it a skeptical tweet, if you look at the positive side, it is acknowledging the fact that not everyone does have a government-issued ID. This has been a major issue in many countries where they are trying to onboard people into the financial system. One of the obstacles to banking and the unbanked is the fact that not everyone has a driver's license, but a lot of people do have a Facebook account. So the upshot of Facebook actually knowing you better than you know yourself is that it can serve as an ID of form. It can identify you as a person and say, hey, you can move this money. We know who you are. We trust you.
Okay, brilliant. Now, we've got the next influential trader, Alex Kruger. He put out this tweet. Facebook presented a blockchain payment solution to emulate WeChat payment success in China, which is not blockchain-based. The approach is revolutionary. The step, great for Facebook with important long-term ramifications, yet limited short-term implications for crypto prices. And he says, he goes on to say some other things there as well, but I think he's linking again this back to Bitcoin, right, and to other coins. And WeChat Pay has been doing exceptionally well in China. Do you think this is essentially similar? Is this just another WeChat Pay? Is this another form of that for Facebook and for other platforms?
I think if it is just another WeChat Pay, that would be bullish as hell. WeChat is big. Mobile payments, digital payments have never really taken off the way around the world the way WeChat has in China, in part because you do have these established banking networks. So if you do want to actually disrupt that, creating the next WeChat is a really great place to begin. Bullish.
Big deal. All right, we've got on Eric Voorhees' New York-based Shapeshift Exchange, starring on the banking Bitcoin documentary. Voorhees fired off a tweet storm. A tweet storm, wow. Okay, and we've got some of the tweets here. Thoughts on Libra and my first tweet storm. First, zoom out for a second and realize how far this industry has come. The biggest companies in the world are now launching cryptocurrencies. Boom, he says. And he goes on to talk more about more and more things about this. Obviously whether or not it's a cryptocurrency. Do you think this is a cryptocurrency? Is this a crypto, like it seems it's got a blockchain, it's got a coin, it's got wallets, it's got validating nodes, it's got security tokens that are backing it, it's got a foundation, which is a non-profit. These all seem like the same kind of setups we've seen that have, the pioneers of cryptocurrency have put in place. They seem to have worked. They've seemed to have adopted that in just the same way. But in this case, you've got a massive set of organizations that are now adopting their own currency and this is a cryptocurrency in and of itself.
Yeah.
You know, is that you know, I guess, do you think that Libra is the first global cryptocurrency?
I think Bitcoin probably was, right?
Right. But globally adopted for payments day to day,
Yeah.
Libra.
I think it has big existing user base. That's a huge strength, right? Which no other cryptocurrency really has brought to bear yet. Every other cryptocurrency is kind of coming in from zero, trying to build its way up. In some cases, you do have forks where they do get some existing users right away. We saw this trend of airdropping all your garbage tokens to everyone you can, and just in an effort to actually get some users. Users are the number one thing that cryptocurrency is missing right now.
Right.
So if you can start with those users and then...
Like Bitcoin has a lot of users. There's a lot of wallets. There's a lot of transactions. There's a lot with you know, even you know, Ethereum. There's a lot of other ones that are going on as well. Don't get me wrong, but this seems like a whole other next dimension of user base.
Yeah.
Are you for or against Libra?
I'm for it. It's nice to have this kind of recognition of the technology itself, and just having this kind of organization in crypto's corner, as it were, to help the industry navigate some of the changes ahead.
Okay.
Banking the unbanked is always nice.
Okay. What does it mean for Bitcoin? So we're talking about, you've written actually an op-ed about this just before the white paper came out. Joel, if you want to bring up that piece as well that Andrew has put together. Do you want to talk us through some of your thoughts or key takeaways from your op-ed?
Yeah, I was just looking at some of the revealed founding members, and they did draw very heavily from the existing crypto industry, I gathered. And I think if you look at many of the founding members have been long on Bitcoin as a sort of digital gold since forever. And they're the OGs. They're your Coinbase, they're your Andreessen Horowitz, they're your etc.
Major players in crypto.
Yeah,
Investors.
absolutely.
It's a big deal. So you think it's good for Bitcoin?
Yes, I do think it's good for Bitcoin. The same reason that people talk about bringing more people into the crypto ecosystem. I think a rising awareness in the field of digital assets as a whole is spot on.
Okay, let's go through the altcoins now. What do you think about OMG? Now, OMG, Omisco, has touted itself as being a payments gateway to help bank the unbanked. We've got, Joel, if you want to bring up the Omisco piece here. What do you think about this in terms of, do you think this is going to be, how do you think OMG is going to be affected?
I'm not super familiar with it, but my understanding is that, you know, as a volatile, you know, non-stablecoin cryptocurrency, I think a lot of payment-oriented cryptos are going to be in trouble.
Okay. What about Ripple? What's your final thoughts on Ripple and how it'll be affected? Andrew?
I think they're in the same boat as the banks to a large extent.
Okay. Stellar?
Stellar, building around a much wider field of digital assets, I think play its cards right. They very much have a role, even larger role to play in facilitating the exchange of Libra among many, many other digital assets.
Okay. Now, when will I be able to use Libra? When's this happening?
They say 2020.
Okay.
That assumes, you know, Libra releases on time. Wouldn't be the first time a crypto project has failed to
release.
targets.
Well, they've got a testnet up and running right now, which is kind of cool. You can send money from Alice to Bob, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
And how do you get a wallet? Like, does this work the same way? Like, how do you get a Libra wallet?
You ask Calibra for help.
Okay. And you
Take
download
advantage
it?
of Calibra's 24/7 customer service.
Okay.
And ask them how you get a wallet.
Okay. Awesome stuff. Any final comments on the Libra coin? Guys, while you are here, do subscribe. Do join us. We are covering all the latest pieces on the daily exchange. Press subscribe, press the little bell and get notified. We've got another video coming up on how to buy Bitcoin. This is one you can share to your friends. Check it out. It's coming up next in the next few days in terms of videos. We can look back in time. We can check out all the experts we've interviewed, some very controversial figures and some really amazing people in the cryptocurrency space. Final thoughts on Libra, Andrew?
I'm loving it. It's great. Exciting.
That's awesome. I've never heard you.
deal.
I've never seen you so bullish on a coin before. This is my first time. All right, guys, do subscribe, do follow us, check it out. Daily Exchange, Libra coin. There it is. Facebook bringing in the cryptocurrency. We'll see you guys later. Yeah.